to decide to engage or indulge in politics, mainstream, what would have that thing been?
Hi. Thank you for having me, and good morning to your cherished viewers. And can I use this opportunity to say good morning to my constituents, the good people of Ablekuma?
Yeah, certainly.
Yes, I'm sure most of them are watching. Mainstream politics, a desire to serve. And this is a constituency where I've lived in for over 40 years. So I saw a gap in terms of representation. I also saw a people who were willing, but there was not much help. So I decided to join politics to be part of the solution.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, when you take a look at the things that inspired you, I'm sure many of them, again, will resonate with many Ghanaians, perhaps maybe issues of underdevelopment, what could have been by way of the needs, infrastructure, etc. of the concept. What did you notice? I mean, just some key.
You know, Ablekuma North constituency, if you are quite familiar with ours, I mean, just like you've mentioned, it has to do with infrastructure, mainly youth unemployment, sanitation, inadequate educational facilities. These top the list, you know. And so these are some of the major challenges we have or are faced with in Ablekuma North. It cuts across most of our 14 electoral areas. If you go to, let me begin with, for instance, Kwashibu electoral area where I am in, we have issues with poor road networks. Infrastructure is a major challenge. Being to electoral area, Awoshi. So it cuts across Nyamiche. If you go to Nyamiche, they have challenges with the flow of water, and it's been years. And you go to the Hansonic area, I've seen on your morning show several times during the contest where you throw light on that huge, is it the...
Drain?
No, is it the pothole at the Hansonic junction? I think recently it was rehabilitated, but it's gone off already. The Municipal Assembly is looking at it through the MCE. And so infrastructure has been a major challenge in Akwa. It still is, but we are taking steps to work at it.
Yeah. For a constituency that's always been known as a stronghold of the MPP, I'm sure, I want to borrow from the former president, naysayers would have said you couldn't have surmounted it, right? How was it like campaigning for the 2024 general elections? I mean, generally, for you as a candidate for the NDC?
You know, for me, before I got into all of this, I had to do a lot of consultation, especially with my immediate family, because I needed them to be on board. You know, female, getting into mainstream politics, you are faced with a lot. So I needed their support, and that I got. So it eased it. But then I also did a lot of stakeholder engagements, and I had to take good counsel from people who knew better than I do. Talking of Ablekuma North constituency being perceived as an MPP stronghold, I mean, I did a lot of data findings, research. It helped me a lot. You know, there's always been a gap, a vote margin of between 20 and 24,000 thereabout between the NPP and NDC. So when I decided to contest, there was a lot of skepticism around it, and so it affected funding, you know, because people were like, this constituency, we are not too sure. But I kept hope and faith alive. You know, I had a good team around me, the grassroots. I mean, they bought into my message, they bought into the vision. And so right through, from the primaries, right through the main general elections, I think they made things quite easier for me. But data, research, hard work, diligence did a lot of the trick.
And across the spectrum, when it comes to the demographics, there's every indication that it's repleted with young people. So when you did those research, what were some of the key findings that motivated you to say, look, I think that these are the odds, these are maybe the opportunities, if you have to do a whole SWOT analysis to be able to perhaps take advantage of?
Okay, so I'll begin with their fears, or in this context, let's say the threats. So when I began engaging them, they were like, oh, all politicians are the same. When you need us, you come to us, tell us and make all the beautiful promises. Once you win, we don't get to see you any longer. And so that was constant with the youth especially, even through the elderly. They'll tell you, in Ghana, I mean, can you win here one on your door? Can you win here one on your door? So I had to do a lot of reassuring and then telling them that, look, it's been a different political party, not the NDC. The NDC has never won this seat since '96. So why don't you give us a chance? You know, and so they bought into that message and they said, well, we'll try you and see how it goes. Obviously, riding on a campaign of how the economy had been mismanaged, and also they thought, well, let's try this change and see how it goes. So that's how we maneuvered, and we are ready to work and work hard so that the promises we made to them were able to fulfill, even if not all, 95% of them. I mean, His Excellency JM is doing a brilliant job so far. I mean, 6-7 months into the year, we see what he's already doing. If I take my constituency, Ablekuma, for instance, if we go back to infrastructural challenges, it includes our poor road networks, which I mentioned earlier. The big push agenda, 10-kilometer road in over 150 constituencies, I think 166 constituencies. With a mid-year budget, we all heard what's going to happen. I think that would help. Among the youth too, unemployment was key during my engagement with them. But so far, we are taking it gradually. If you look at what the YEA is doing, the Jumara programs and all, the youth and women in Ablekuma North are having their fair share. And so I'm sure that by the time our tenure ends, we would have made a lot of inroads.
Yeah. Ablekuma North is, because it's very cosmopolitan, the way it's been segmented by way of the population means that the pressure is on for many people. Young people, maybe some overindulging in vices, some also aspiring to achieve their goals, some needing key issues like employment, etc. Does that put a lot of pressure on you? How do you intend to resolve those?
Honestly, it does put a lot of pressure on me because you know that the people are counting on you to deliver. But again, I take comfort in the fact that I'm not alone. I am working with a team. You know, I can't shoulder the burden all alone. If you look at the developmental projects, practically it wouldn't be me carrying them out because we have a municipal assembly led by the able chief executive, who is Honorable Musa Kalamo. We are working as a team, and so he's going to shoulder some of the burden. I already have an existing foundation, an NGO, which even prior to my being elected as MP, it's a foundation I've used to help in terms of skill development, etc., among the youth, taking care of orphans, supporting educational needs in the country. So it makes it a bit flexible. It's like moving from one step to the other. So that's how we are taking it.
I see. And now you're in a constituency with individuals, voters, who decided to perhaps not back the regular candidate from that regular party and putting their hope in you. At the end of the day, there are key considerations that need to be made. Perhaps it could be your strength and how you fought the main election. Before we had, is it a rerun now?
A rerun.
Okay. What happened?
what happened?
That 7th day of December, subsequently leading to the tumultuous period of having to contest vote count, etc. What did you see? What did your team report to you? What did you experience?
Well, I was involved in all of it, so I would say it just happened. I just can't pinpoint what exactly happened, but what I recall is 7th December, voting is over, collation is being done. I am with a team in one building having our collation done. And then there's a main collation center where both parties and the EC are also collating results. And so this makes it two different branches of collating of results. And then in the middle of it, I would say an argument or exchanges broke out because of some pink sheets being sneaked in by the other side, and then our side got hold of it. And so this is where the 7th December challenges and all stemmed from. My disappointment a bit was with how the whole issue was handled on the day, because I believe that at that instance, we could have resolved it so that we don't have that, the drama that unfolded over the 3 months, 6 months, not knowing what to do, what to expect and all. Because if someone had sneaked in pink sheets, what do we do? And then there are two parties fighting over why did you put this in there, why, and then we have the police there and all. But fast forward, we didn't agree because of what we saw or witnessed on the day.
An experience.
And then why? So you see, that brought the issue of we not accepting scanned sheets.
What happened? There's been a narrative of pink sheets sometimes being authenticated or being shown as part of the process of collation on devices. And then we're told they were smuggled in. How so?
Well, so this is where I say the NDC side, we had a challenge. If at some point our opponent says we don't have pink sheets, but then we have scanned results, okay? And then we have caught you red-handed sneaking in pink sheets. How do you
reconcile?
I mean, how do you expect us to believe that these pink sheets that you've just smuggled in haven't been scanned already? This is where our challenge was and has been all this while before the rerun. And that is why we weren't going to take what they were telling us or what the EC was saying. Unfortunately, in the course of the scuffle, we also lost pink sheets. The MPP side, I'll be surprised if they said they lost pink sheets, because right from the word go, they claimed they never had pink sheets to show. But they had scanned results. Meanwhile, at some point, you were sneaking in pink sheets. You see, so...
And you decided to stand your ground until there was the rerun.
Of course. I mean, when the EC decided to announce the rerun, we were expecting a rerun in 62 polling stations and not 19, because there was contention over 62 polling stations. But I've said earlier that, well, the party leadership engaged us. They said, you can't have it all. At the end of the day, if the EC feels that this is middle ground and where fairness can be achieved, then we should go with it. And so that's why we went with the 19 polling stations. But we weren't expecting anything less than the 60.
And that day, we covered it. It was Butu Butu.
Really?
Onyasam Kakraba.
Dama.
And how Akumsi, you know he was kicked. You saw that, the Kung Fu stuff. You saw it. Did you see the videos? Of course, you were not there.
Yeah, I was.
What do you make of it? Former minister, former MP.
Oh, I think it shouldn't happen to anyone regardless, male, female, position or not. I mean, it shouldn't happen. However, it didn't happen in Ablekuma North because the people in Ablekuma North decided to attack it. I think there's some history behind all of that. I am quite worried that Ablekuma North is being projected that, oh, she came to Ablekuma North and she got attacked. But honestly, the attack did happen in Ablekuma North, but it wasn't from the constituents. And
you're seeing the antecedents of the attack?
You know, sometimes I may be wrong, but I'm tempted to believe, is it from her own party? Could it be? Because later commentary I heard, you know, some in the media, some videos I saw. I
don't know. You mean it's a friendly match?
Well, it could probably be from their own party, but you can never tell. You can never tell. I mean, what shows is the NDC that attacked her or members of the NDC. It could be anybody, but regardless, it shouldn't happen. And I join the many voices to condemn it outrightly. I think we should be able to conduct elections devoid of all these violence, etc. So.
Okay. And now you've been sworn into the House. You're participating so well. How has your integration been so far?
Hectic.
In Parliament?
Hectic.
High expectations?
Well, for myself, yes, because I also want to learn and learn fast and do well. It's been hectic because it's been 6-7 months before I joined in, so there's so much to do and catch up with. And now Parliament has gone on a break, but I still have to go there and get some work done. So I'm taking each day at a time.
Yeah. You caught the bus late, so to speak. So you have to catch up.
Yeah.
All right. If there are 3 top priorities for you, you want to leave that legacy for the term that you've been elected for in Parliament, both in Parliament and the constituency, what would it be?
I'll begin from the constituency because they have given me this mandate. Without their support, I wouldn't have been in Parliament in the first place. But before I answer the question, let me say thank you to the thousands and thousands of people who thronged into Ablekuma North during the rerun to offer support to Ewurabena, and not forgetting my own mother, Dr. Valerie Sawyer, and the party leadership, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, General Nketia Mosquito, and all of them, the Chief of Staff, all of them. But constituency, I want to leave a legacy that people would look at and admire. I mean, bring leadership close to home, bring the people close to leadership, and also through hard work, obvious development and projects, turn the seat into an NDC one. Not just by feeling entitled, but by delivering, you know. And in Parliament, I want to be a good representative for my people, where I can also argue their issues out, their challenges, and then see how best we can bring the best home to the people of Ablekuma North. Yeah.
You have your work cut out for you. Of course,
to a large extent, yeah. Yes.
The marking scheme set by yourself. But on key national issues, well, the city has been doing well against the US dollar, so it looks like there seems to be a breath of fresh air when it comes to how relaxed people are in relation to purchasing power and many other related things. What do you think has caught your attention in relation to the narrative by ordinary people, not only in Ablekuma North only, but generally, as you've observed with the way the economy has been handled so far?
Well, generally, I think it feels a bit more relaxed, generally, if you ask me, because the price of goods and services are quite, have declined, and you hear people appreciate the fact that commodities are less expensive now. And so when prices go down, obviously, people tend to appreciate that the economy is doing better. The dollar, too, against the CD, some business people may not be too happy. Yesterday, I met a businessman, and he was telling me how he had spent so much on his goods, and now the CD keeps doing better against the dollar. And so, but I believe generally the economy is doing well. People are more relaxed. People are more happier now. We just needed a change. We just needed a change, and so it's a good one.
There are things about young people in Ablekuma North as well as other constituencies engaging in drug abuse, key issues about maybe internet fraud scams, etc. Did you encounter any of them during your campaigns? How do you intend to educate young people to choose better options?
I think employment solves most of these social vices. And so sometimes you can't just sit in the comfort of your homes and make judgments or pronouncements as to why people choose certain lifestyles or do what they do. But drawing them closer, engaging them, you get to understand and appreciate them better. And then you can also offer your advices or options to them. And so in Ablekuma North, for instance, if you engage the youth, they will tell you, well, we do A, B, C because there are no jobs. If you give them jobs, they'll move and they will do it. And so once these basic needs are available to them, I think these vices will also be reduced.
So it means that you have to increase the collaboration with other state agencies to facilitate employment creation, not only in Ablekuma North, but across.
Of course.
Have you begun? How do you intend to do that? Do you have any program of action in place?
I think I mentioned earlier where I did mention that the YEA, Jumera, all these programs are underway. And if you look at the NDC manifesto, for instance, job creation and skill development is key. And so I don't think the youth in the constituency would be left out at all.
All right, so we have to wind up our conversation, and it's very important for all of us to do so. If there are things that need to be done to improve the state of education and aspire people, and I'm told that you're very much interested in welfare as well as education in the constituency, what would they be, based on the campaign promises that you gave?
You know, I'm an educationist by profession.
Yes, I'm told you have an academy.
Yes, I'm an educationist by profession. So I know that we have, I think, about 370 teachers in the public schools in Ablekuma North. And they are hopeful, they are expectant of what changes or improvements I'm going to introduce in the sector. I'll do a lot of stakeholder engagements. So that we get, we prefer solutions that bring utmost results to education in the constituency. You know, teaching and learning cannot take place in a vacuum. There's so much we need to do in terms of the classroom setup. Children learn with their surroundings. It's not just about the teacher and child. So there's a lot we need to do. And I'll do my best in that area too.
All right. During the rerun, we had interactions with a number of residents who were close to some of the polling stations, and they were saying they'd been deceived for a very long time. And so you become the ray of hope. If you are the ray of hope, what does it mean to you?
It means they've bought into your message. It means they have expectations. It means you cannot afford to disappoint them. It puts a lot of responsibility on your shoulder, not just to be just any other person, but live true to your word. Because during my campaign, I kept assuring them that please try Ewurabena in the NDC and let's see what they also have to offer. So after you are given the mandate, you can't go back on your word. You just need to stay true to the course. And so I think if there's anything that has helped me, it's been my honesty with them. It's been my integrity. I'm not claiming perfection, but I've been truthful with the people. And in all honesty, even if the going gets tough, I'll let them know so that together we all see how we can get the best out of our situation.
If there are areas that you, based on your experience and interactions, maybe polling station areas or within the constituency, which would you advocate for their infrastructure, roads, etc., to be tackled first?
It's a difficult one.
Okay.
It's a difficult one because in Ablekuma, not every electoral area
needs help.
But of course, we can't lump all together and do everything at the same time. And so I'll have to do engagements and then we see how to prioritize them. It's not as if we have not started, but then I wouldn't be quick to put that out there and say we are going to begin A, B, C, D. But on paper, in practice, in reality, we know where the challenges are more extensive. And so we would look at that and then we'll begin.
Of course, you didn't start this whole crusade, but you certainly are an inspiration to many young girls or ladies or women. Do you think that put a lot of pressure on you, or what does it rather aspire you to achieve?
I wouldn't say it's put pressure on me because I've always been an advocate for women. I've always mentored young ladies and young females. And so this is just another platform to do better and to keep dragging them along and talking to them, giving them hope that with determination, you can also achieve your dreams, your goals. And fear shouldn't deter you or keep you away from whatever you desire to achieve.
When it comes to the gender parity, women being given the opportunity, etc., with your experience, do you think that perhaps political parties need to, if they have identified very credible, authoritative, intelligent, and very participatory women to represent them aspiring in the constituency or at the constituency level, perhaps they should be given quotas? What do you make of that? The female quota or the gender quota in politics, based on your experiences?
What was this? The act was passed, was it in July 2024 on the gender thing? I think we are not doing badly, but we can still do more. There's more to do, and especially when it comes to females in politics. I think the whole issue of political funding must be looked at, and we must be supported. I mean, there needs to be some clear definitions on how we can be supported. But let me give credit to the NDC party, for instance, when it comes to the to gender. Our filing fees, for instance, was absorbed by the party, and so I think they are doing, yes, for female candidates. And even within Greater Accra, when it comes to support logistics, Dr. Valerie Sawyer and a few others supported a lot of the females, if not all females, in Greater Accra with vehicles, etc. So I think the party is doing well, but generally I think we can do better in terms of equity. So
what would you advocate by way of a policy direction that the parties need to adopt? What would be your opinion?
Well, it's not about me or my opinion. I think it will take a lot of stakeholder engagement. It will take all of us. Because I have mentioned that I think political funding must be looked at. But somebody may have other needs. So when we come together, and Giorgio, I'm sure we could come up with something comprehensive that cuts across and will inure to the benefits of all, and not just...
You're saying that when it comes to men and women as candidates or put forward by the parties, funding goes more to men than women? Invariably, that's what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when it comes to funding women, the females there should be a clear cut.
Some equity.
Some equity, you know, of how females can be supported. Because we want more females in politics, we want them in leadership and etc. But then we need to support them to get there.
Well, Tola, I have a couple of messages on our stream, so I'll just go through some of them for you so that all of us will be. A typical Awoshi spot, Ewurabena donated street light. Today, that particular spot records no accidents. You donated street lights? That's coming from somebody watching.
On the Awoshi electoral area. You know the main stretch that goes to the Anya? We record series of accidents on that road because there's been faulty traffic lights over the years. But this is also a challenge we are looking at solving.
Okay, so you did more donations. So you'll be doing more donations? That's what it means. More responsibilities for you. They said this MP will make ABN proud to a candidacy through Awula Foundation. She has brought smiles to the people of Ablekuma. Now, tell me about your foundation. And what do you do?
Foundation is
What
an
inspired
NGO.
you?
Sorry?
What inspired you?
Charity work, giving back to society, no matter how small, no matter the quantum. So Awula Foundation has been in existence for a while. It supports underprivileged children, it supports orphans, it supports widows, it provides educational needs, etc. We help with startup businesses, traders. With the males, we support them, drivers, those who want to do their handiwork, we give them tools, etc. So these are some of the things the NGO does.
All right. We wish you all the best in Parliament.
Thank you very much.
You're on recess?
Yes.
Okay. When are you coming back?
In October.
In October.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best. So
for
this recess, what will you be doing? Apart from shuffling yourself between the things you have to learn and catch up with in Parliament, what will you be doing for the constituents?
I have to be present in the constituency so that I engage them more. They are yearning to see me, and so I'll make myself available. Yeah.
Well, good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Even though
for having
it was
me.
on a short notice,
Thank
and
you.
you decided also to pass through as well.
Thank you very much.
And wish you all the best for the day.
Thank you.
And that's Ewurabena Aubynn, the Member of Parliament for ABN, as I just also saw in the comment section, Ablekuma North constituency. And we also hope that you did enjoy the interactions as well as the regular segments right here on TV3 New Day. But in the meantime, that'll be it, the session or the edition for this morning. Join us same time tomorrow right here on TV3 New Day. Bye-bye.
Problem there, better call Jesus. I know there, a big man know they ball on me, and I was your face. I seen the hope and it down.